Hey everyone, I'm DT10 and in this video I'll be showing you how to build this TARDIS right here, which is the 9th and 10th Doctors TARDIS in vanilla Minecraft. So I've actually built this TARDIS before, a long time ago. It's actually the first video on my channel, but I've decided to remake it because the old build was very inaccurate, way too small, and quite hard to follow in terms of the way the tutorial was laid out. So I've completely redesigned it and I've made a new tutorial to go with it, and I really hope you enjoy it. If you do, please consider subscribing, as not many of you are, and it would really help me out. Anyway, this right here is the exterior that we're going to be building. It's pretty simple, it's pretty basic, and then we're also going to be building the system to link the exterior and the interior together, and as you head on inside, this is the beautiful interior that we are going to be building in this tutorial. And so, let's get cracking with the exterior. So, to build the exterior, first of all, dig 2 blocks down in the ground and type the following command, /give @s and then command block. Once you've done that, you'll get command block on your inventory and place it facing upwards right here. In this command block, you need to type the following command, tp @p and then the coordinates of where you want to build your interior. So for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to put 2000 and then make the y coordinate 1 block above the ground level. So for me, if I jump, that is 38. So I'm going to pop 38 right there and then 2000 to finish it off. Press done and then grab yourself a block of lapis lazuli and place it on top. Place another one directly in front like that with a pressure plate on top of this one here. We're now going to create a horseshoe still with our lapis lazuli going all the way around the edge like this. And we're then going to carry it up by a further 3 blocks. So that's 1, 2, and then 3 like this. And you should have something that looks like this. Next up, we're going to fill in these 4 blocks here and punch out 1, 2, 3, 4 holes like that and replace them with iron bars. Next up, go up to the top of your TARDIS and place a sea lantern on top with some blue carpet on top like that. And if you want to, you can also go inside and place a sea lantern there as well, just for a bit of light in there. Next up, you're going to need 12 dark oak signs. So you're going to come to this block directly above the left window and you're going to go down to the second line and write police all in capital letters. For the next sign, still on the second line, you're going to write public, and on the third line, write cool, just like that. And then for the third sign, go down to the second line once again, and in capital letters, write box, like that. Dye all of these signs white and then use a glow ink sac to make all of them glow. Next up, all you need to do is copy these signs around the top of the TARDIS. So as I'm in creative mode, I'm just going to control middle click all of these and paste them all around like this. Once you've done that, we now need to grab ourselves a birch sign and you need to come to this block directly underneath the left window and place this birch sign. On the first line, write police telephone like this, then write free in capital letters on the second line, for use of with capital letters at the start of each word like that, and then finally public in capital letters on the last sign. Make it glow with a glow ink sac just like we did with these ones, and finally place a dark oak door there, and with that your TARDIS exterior is complete and we're now ready to move on to the interior. So just walk inside and we're ready to go. So to start with, directly on top of the block where you spawn in, you need to place a block of mangrove planks like that. Next up, face behind you and dig 1 block down and place a command block facing up like that. In this command block, you need to put TP @P, just like we did with the exterior, but now you need the coordinates of your exterior. So if you head back there, what you need to do is you need to head inside like this and just stand on the same block as the door and write down those coordinates. So for me, that is 1037 and then 1002. Just write them in chat so that you remember them and then go back to your command block and pop them in. Once you've done that, press done and then place another mangrove planks block on top of it with a mangrove pressure plate right there like that. Next up, go behind your mangrove pressure plate and place a block of black concrete there with a dark oak door on top of it like that. Then surround this door in your black concrete. Now this is more of a precaution because you should step on the pressure plate and not even be able to see the door open, but just in case there's any lag or anything, you want something to block it up behind so that you don't just see into the infinite world back there. Now you're going to need some white concrete and you're going to go all the way around like this with 1 more row on top like that. Next up, punch 2 holes here and fill them with iron bars, and behind them place 2 ochre frog lights. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. Next up, we're going to need some more dark oak signs, and what you're going to do is go to this block right here, and we're actually going to do all of this backwards. So what you're going to do is write box backwards like that. Then we're going to do the same with the public call one. This one can be a little bit fiddly, but you've just sort of got to work backwards, so it should look like that. And then finally, you need to write police backwards as well. And you should have something that looks like this. Now you need to dye all of these signs white and make them glow, just like we did with the exterior. And finally, grab yourself some warped trapdoors and surround this entire thing with these warped trapdoors. And there you go, that is the entrance to our TARDIS interior complete. So next up in this tutorial, we're going to be building the walls of this TARDIS. And for this, you're going to need stripped oak wood, stripped dark oak wood, and then any random block to go underneath, as we're building one block above the ground. So I'm just going to use whatever blocks I'm using, so I'm just going to go like that. But these blocks under here won't actually be shown, so you can use whatever you want for them if you're trying to conserve resources. So we're going to start on the right hand side of our entrance here, and we're going to go one block behind and go 1, 2, and then strip dark oak wood like that. Next up, we're going to go one block outwards and go 1, 2 with our stripped oak wood, and then 1 and some stripped dark oak wood like that. Then we're going 1, 2, 3 like that, and leave a space right here. Then we're going to replicate the exact same thing we just did, but going outwards. So 1, 2, 3, then some stripped dark oak wood here, and another stripped oak wood next to it. 1, 2 with your stripped oak wood, and then finally you're going to need another stripped dark oak wood here, and then you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like that, with a final stripped dark oak wood right here. And now we're basically just going to finish off this circle. So what you need to do is go 1, 2 next to it like this, another stripped oak wood pillar, and then some stripped dark oak wood, 1, 2, 3 like that, and then leave a gap just like we did over there, 1, 2, 3 next to it like that, one stripped dark oak wood with a stripped oak wood next to it, 1, 2 with your stripped dark oak wood, and then a stripped dark oak wood pillar behind it with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stripped oak woods, and another stripped dark oak wood there. So here you can see that we've basically created half of a circle, and now all you need to do is flip this over and replicate it on the other side. So fingers crossed, you should now have something that looks like this, and the next step for us is we're actually going to continue this pattern another 3 blocks up. So 1, 2, 3 like that, and you're basically going to go all the way around and just repeat these blocks going all the way up the side like that. So there you go, you should now have something that looks like this. In total, it should be 4 blocks high, plus whatever block underneath you've chosen to use. Obviously, I've just chosen the exact same blocks. So now it's going to become a little bit more complicated as we begin to bring this circle in to create the dome look that we're going for. So first of all, we're going to turn to our entryway right here and go to the left hand side and place any block that you want right here with a stripped dark oak wood block on top of it like that. Then break the block underneath and do the exact same thing here, but with oak wood. Next up, we're going to place another block behind here, then do the same thing again, so a temporary block here with a oak wood block on top, and destroy that one, but keep that one behind it like that. So you should now have something that looks like this. We're now going to replicate this on the other side, and you should now have something that looks like this. Next up, we're going to come behind the entrance and place 3 temporary blocks there, then an oak wood there, a stripped dark oak wood here, and an oak wood there like that, and do the same thing 1 block higher. So you should now have something that looks like this. To finish this off, we're going to put another oak wood right there, and the same on the other side, and finally a stripped dark oak wood right there. Now I should mention at this point that we will be going back and breaking quite a few of these stripped oak woods and replacing them with redstone lamps, as you would have seen at the beginning. But I've chosen to leave that until we've completed the entire structure, because I feel like it's easier alternating between 2 blocks compared to alternating between 3 while you're trying to build it. So now we've got this little complicated bit out of the way, we're basically just going to be repeating this entire circle, but 1 block forwards and 1 block up. So what I mean by that is you're going to place a temporary block and then a block on top of it, which is the same as the one behind it, and you're just going to do that all the way around. So it should end up looking like this. So I'll do just a few more in case you're a bit unsure, but effectively you're just going around and you're creating another circle, which is 1 block inwards and 1 block above the other one. And just repeat this all the way around the build. So you should now have something that looks like this, and now we're going to do a very similar thing to what we did in the under section, and we're going to carry this all up by further 2 blocks apart from this archway bit here. And to finish it off, what we're going to do, as you might have expected, is to fill these blocks in on either side so that it all brings it up to a nice, neat, equal level. And we're now going to pretty much do the exact same thing again. So you're going to come 1 block out all the way around and continue that all the way around the TARDIS. Now, just as a little note, when you come to this area here, you can absolutely leave this block behind and just continue like this, as it won't be visible in the final build. And we're now going to, all the way around, continue this up by 1 extra block this time. Not 2, just 1. So you should now have something that looks like this, and yep, you probably guessed it, we're going to be doing a very similar thing again for the next layer. However, it is actually slightly different, because we're going to be shifting the location of these dark oak beams, mostly just 1 block across. So what you're going to do is you're going to come out with your oak wood there, and then your dark oak wood there. Then you're going to put 2 more blocks of oak wood. This middle one stays the same, and then you're going to replicate the same on the other side. So you should end up with something that looks like that. Then these 2 blocks stay as normal, and these 2 just swap round. So your dark oak one goes there, and your normal one goes there. These once again stay the same, and just like with this section down here, you can keep a gap there. It really doesn't matter, as it won't be shown. And then the same thing that we did just here. So these 2 swap around. The dark oak goes there instead. These 2 stay the same. This one becomes oak, and then the dark oak moves to here. So what you're going to do is you're just going to continue this structure all the way around. So you should end up with something that looks like this. These 2 end up curling outwards from this central bit, and then these 2 end up curling inwards like that. And as you probably guessed, we're now going to continue this up by further 1 block all the way around. And now we're going to do the exact same thing again. The beams are going to stay in the same place, and you're just going to come out by further 1 block all the way around. And once again, when you get to the corner, you can leave this gap, because there's going to be a block right there, so it doesn't matter. You can just leave it blank. And then once you've got something that looks like this, you're going to do the exact same thing again. So there's no carrying this up by a further 1 block this time. You're just going to do the exact same thing again all the way around. And there we go. You should now have something that looks like this. Now this final layer is going to be our last layer of this combination of stripped oak wood and stripped dark oak wood. You'll be probably pleased to know. And the beams are going to shift a little bit more once again. So you're going to start over here, and you're going to place oak wood right there. And then again next to it, a stripped dark oak wood right there, oak, and then stripped dark oak, and then oak again, stripped dark oak wood here, and a further 2 oak wood. So they should curve in once again like that. As you get to the corner, this block is going to stay the same, and this block is actually going to have the stripped dark oak wood on it like that. You're then going to place some stripped oak wood right here, some more stripped oak wood next to it, and then continue that all the way around. So dark oak wood, more oak wood right there, dark oak wood all the way along like that, another dark oak right here, 3 more oak right here, and then another dark oak there. So just continue that pattern all the way around your TARDIS. And our final step for this is we're going to continue this all the way around, this time 1 block in front. So you're just going to go all the way around like this, and for the corner you're just going to leave this block, because once again there's going to be something blocking it, which we will construct a little bit later. Now something to point out is that if you go underneath, these textures on the edges at least won't connect perfectly. The ones on either side will, but because of the way they've done it, these ones won't. If that bothers you, then please feel free to change them. All you have to do is destroy them and replace them like that. Personally, it doesn't bother me too much, so I'm just going to leave it like that. So there we go. That is that bit complete. However, we're not quite done with the roof yet. We're going to need to grab ourselves some white terracotta and replace the stripped oak wood, as we're still going to need some of this stripped dark oak. Right, so like I just said, we are going to be doing some detailing with the stripped dark oak wood, just like we did on these sections. However, personally, I find it a lot easier to just build the shell with the white terracotta first and then add the detailing later. So that's what I'm going to do for the sake of this tutorial. So first we're going to come 1 block above and just go all the way around the outside with your white terracotta like this. So you should now have a circle that looks like this, and then you're going to do the exact same thing again right next to all of this white terracotta that you just placed. So you should now end up with something that looks like this, and it's pretty square. So this time, instead of leaving all the corners in, we're going to go all the way around the outside again, but don't place any blocks on the corners. And once you've done that, you should end up with something that looks like this. It should still be 5 blocks across the middle, but this time it's 2 and 2 on the corners. And it's pretty square at the moment, so to fix that, we're just going to place an extra block in each of these corners like that, and that's the first layer of your white terracotta complete. We're going to do a very similar thing on top. You're going to come 1 block above, and keeping all the corners in this time, we're going to go all the way around the edge of our circle. And this time, instead of doing another layer keeping the corners in, we're just going to do one without. So you're going to place 3 blocks there, 3 blocks there, 3 blocks there, and then a final 3 blocks there. And you're going to place 1, 2 in each corner all the way around like that. And you should end up with a new circle that looks like this. And then, as you may have guessed, the final step is we're just going to place white terracotta 1 block above all of this. So we're going to create a final circle right in the middle here. However, the one difference with this one is that you're going to leave a gap directly in the middle of the circle, as we're going to be placing a beacon here. And there we go. That is pretty much all of your walls and your roof completed. However, like I mentioned earlier, there's a couple more detailing steps we need to do with our stripped dark oak wood. First, we actually need to come to these walls that we constructed, and we need to create an extra dark oak beam at the back here. So obviously, I don't really need to start at the bottom because it's going to be covered by the floor. So just start 1 block above and create an extra dark oak beam going all the way up. And there you go, it should look exactly like this. Next up, we're going to be detailing this white terracotta bit. So sticking at this back wall, what we're first of all going to do is come in line with this left dark oak pillar here and dig out these 2 blocks and replace them with our stripped dark oak wood, and do exactly the same thing on the other side like that. Next up, we're going to do the same in the middle as well, and then we're going to connect these with a row of 3 blocks like that. We're now going to break these 2 blocks and replace them with our stripped dark oak wood. Then we're going to do the exact same thing for these 3 blocks as well, and you should end up directly at your middle hole. And then just replicate this exact same thing on the other side here above the door. So there you go, you should now have something that looks like this, and we do need to repeat these for the other 2 sides. However, it's a little bit different because we don't have a middle beam. So we're going to start off exactly the same. We're going to break these 2 blocks on either side just like this. Then you're going to skip the one in the middle and just place the 3 blocks along like that. And then to finish it off, you're just going to replace these 2 blocks as well. We don't have to do anything in the middle here. Just repeat this slightly simplified structure on the other side. And there we go, your roof should now look something like this, and we literally just have a few more blocks to place. You need to come to each of the corners, destroy this terracotta block here and this terracotta block here, so that the beam just curves into each other like that. That is all you need to do, just these 2 blocks on each of the 4 corners. And there you go, once you've done that, that is pretty much the most difficult bit of this entire build complete. Obviously, we'll be returning to these walls because they're nowhere near completed, but first of all, we're going to turn our attention to the floor. And for now, at least, the floor in this TARDIS is extremely simple. All you need to do is just fill this entire space in with grey concrete, and just make sure it is obviously 1 block above the ground in line with these mangrove planks that we placed earlier. And there we go, your floor should now look like this. Next up, we're going to need some more mangrove planks, some mangrove slabs, some dark oak fences, and some blackstone slabs. So first of all, we're going to destroy these 2 blocks next to the entrance and replace them with mangrove planks, then do another block of 3 right here. Then we're going to do the exact same thing right in front, but instead we're going to use mangrove slabs like that, and then you're going to place 4 dark oak fences next to the entrance like that. So next up, you're going to need some blackstone slabs, and we're going to be creating 2 hexagonal platforms. So first of all, you need to place 3 blackstone slabs on the block above these mangrove slabs like that. Then you're going to go 1, 2, 3 behind it like that. 1, 2, 3 again, 1, 2, 3 again, and then 1 more time like that. So from this side, you should have something that looks like this. It should be 3 there, and then 2, 2, 2, and 2 like that. Now you're going to come 1 block out once again, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, all in a straight line like that. And we're there just going to mirror this section. So we're going to go 1 out like that, then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then another block of 3 right here to finish it off. And just to check you've done everything right, this middle block should align with this central pillar of dark oak perfectly. And there we go, that is half of your hexagonal platform complete. We're then just going to flip this exact same thing on the other side. Next up, what we need to do is come to this middle block here, and we're actually going to go out 1, 2, 3, 4 blackstone slabs into the middle like that. Next up, what you need to do is place 2 blackstone slabs either side like that. Then we're going to be creating a little bit of a circle. So what you need to do is come 1 block extra on this side and go 1, 2, 3 like that. then you need to do the exact same thing we did over here. So come out by 1 block and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all the way along. Repeat the same thing, out by another block and then 1, 2, 3 like that. Out by another block, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you should end up with something that looks like this, and then all you need to do is flip that on the other side. So if you've done everything right, you should end up with a circle which is 5 blocks across this way, and then 1, 2, 3 blocks on each of the corners like that. Now we're just going to fill in all of this empty space with our blackstone slabs. So there you go. Sorry, this is a little bit of a complicated shape, so it's a little bit hard to explain, but you should end up with something that looks like this, a hexagonal platform with a circle cut out in the middle. And speaking of the central circle, that's what we're going to turn our attention to next. And this next bit is really easy. All you need to do is place any sort of temporary block right here, and then place a blackstone slab on the top half of the block, so you should be able to see directly underneath it. Destroy this block, and then we're just going to follow the outline of this inner circle all the way around like this. So next up, what we're going to need to do is you're going to need to grab the following materials, one of which includes the beacon. So first of all, what you need to do is come to this central block right here and destroy it. So if you look up, you should be looking directly through the hole in the ceiling. Next up, we're going to punch another further block down and destroy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks all around you, and replace them with any block that are able to power a beacon. So diamond, emerald, netherite, whatever. Now place a beacon on top like this, and it should power. There we go, perfect. And now all you need to do is place a grey carpet on top like that to hide the actual beacon block underneath. So now grab yourself some mud brick, stairs and slabs, and we're going to be creating the base of the console. So first of all, count 1, 2, 3 blocks out in an L shape like that, and place a stair facing that way. Then place a slab next to it like that, and another stair facing the other way. Then place another stair on top of it like that, and you're going to repeat this on all 4 sides. And fingers crossed, it should sort of enclose the beacon quite nicely. Now this next bit is entirely optional, but I just think it's a nice little detail to add. Feel free to spam any sort of redstone blocks that you want around the base of this beacon. So I'm just going to grab some stuff like this. I'm just going to place a few of these, a few levers like that. Power, redstone comparator there, another one there. Yeah, basically just spam anything you want to make it look like there's some sort of TARDIS machinery under there. I just think it's a really nice addition. Once you're happy with that, grab yourself some of these, the verdant frog lights, and you're going to place one in each of these corners like this. And then once you've got this, still with our verdant frog lights, just before we close this platform up, we're going to place some blocks which will be a bit fiddly to place later. So place one of these verdant frog lights in each of these corners here, and then one block in the middle. So all of this should be under the blackstone slabs from earlier. And it really just helps to light up the TARDIS, and it will look a little bit less random once we start adding our coral pillars in a little bit. So yeah, you should end up with something that looks like that. Finally, all you need to do is grab your blackstone slabs and close up this entire platform. And now that we've filled all this in, it's finally time to start on the console. So you're going to start by placing 4 blocks of lime stained glass on top of all of these frog lights with mud brick blocks in between them like that. You're then going to grab some mud brick stairs and place one facing outwards on each of these 4 sides. Then grab yourself some sandstone slabs and fill in the gaps either side, just like we do when we build any sort of TARDIS console in this shape. Then you're going to grab yourself 4 more mud brick stairs and place 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way around the beacon beam like that, and these all need to have sandstone slabs on top of them like that. And now we're going to be creating our rotor. So come to this block right here, this second mud brick down, and you're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks of lime stained glass going upwards like that. You're then going to need to grab yourself some lime carpet and place 4 on top of all of these slabs like that, and then another 4 on top of those blocks of lime carpet. Then you're going to grab yourself 4 barrier blocks, or if you're in survival you can use string, and place another 4 of those on top of these carpets. Then finally tower up a further 2 carpets on top of each of these barrier blocks, and you should end up with a rotor that looks like that. Now just before we move on to the top of this rotor, we're just going to decorate our console down here. So as usual, you can put any sort of redstone on this that you want, throw in a few levers and buttons here and there. However, one trick which I really like to do is to grab yourself a command block and copy and paste the command that is in the description, and this will give you a monitor player head. So put this command in the command block and then set this to always active, press done, and you will grab one of these monitor heads. And then once you've got them, just place one there like that, and then one on the other side like that. It's just a really nice little addition. Now obviously this is only for Java Edition and only if you're in creative mode. If you're in survival or on bedrock, another really good way to do it is to grab yourself a skeleton skull and place it with the back facing outwards like that. Now just go ahead and decorate your console. There we go, that's the console design I've chosen to go for, but really you can do it any way you want. Now we're going to grab the following blocks: sandstone stairs, smooth sandstone stairs, and smooth sandstone. And we're going to come above our rotor right here. First of all, place a sandstone stair on top of all of these carpet blocks like that. Then place another round of sandstone stairs on top once again, all facing exactly the same way. Then grab your smooth sandstone stairs, and this can be a little bit fiddly, but you need to place them facing the opposite way on top of all of these. Personally, I find that the best way to do this is to just go all the way around and then just break the corners like that, and you should end up with something that looks like that. Now place a smooth sandstone block on top of all of these stairs, and then we're going to repeat this exact same thing but one block above and outwards. So place a smooth sandstone stair like that with a smooth sandstone block on top, and repeat this all the way around. By the way, any blocks you put in here don't matter, because we're now about to close this up by just placing 2 sandstone blocks on either side in each of the corners like that. And that is the top part of your rotor complete, and that is your entire console section complete. Now, just before we move on to the coral pillars, we're going to put in all of our redstone lamps. Now, this can get a little bit fiddly, but effectively what you have to do is just leave one block around it at all times. So place one there, and then leave a block, place one there, leave a block, place one here, and basically go all the way up this side of the TARDIS doing that until you get to here. Do that on the other side. So this is basically organised in a bit of a grid fashion, so it just needs to have one block around it at all times. So then you're going to fill in these ones, because obviously it needs to be in rows as well, and you should end up with something that looks like this. So obviously this one and this one are going to have to be filled in as well, and you see what I mean? We're just sort of be creating a grid here, and then when you get to this point here, you're just going to continue with the ones that are available to you. So obviously at the moment, because the pillars have sort of curved inwards, we can only place ones on these blocks here. Then once you get to this point, we're going to continue with our 2 in the middle, so you can carry these ones all the way up. Then we're going to come one block outwards and place redstone lamps in all of these gaps here as well on both sides. And your first wall of redstone lamps should look exactly like this. Now, it's a little bit complicated at first, but you do get used to it quite quickly. So for example, in this section, we've got 3 blocks in between each of the 2 pillars, and obviously because they continue in rows, you're going to have 2 here and then 2 here like that, another 2 like that, and another 2 like that, so they continue along. Then you're going to place another 2 right here, and then 1 right here, because obviously we can't have 2 next to each other, another 1 right here like that. Then these corners are a little bit more complicated. So in these areas, we're just going to do the exact same thing we've done, leaving a block between every single lamp like that. Continue it up, so you're going to have 2 right here like that on either side. Then you're going to do the same right here, except we can actually leave this bit because it won't be visible. Then you're going to have 1 in the top left-hand corner of this block, and the same in the top right corner of that one like that. Then we're actually going to break the rules a little bit here and leave a 2-block gap, and then place a redstone lamp in each corner like that. And then finally a redstone lamp to replace these 2 stripped oak wood blocks right there. And there you go, that is that side complete. So with this information, you should now be able to repeat this all the way around the TARDIS. And if you continue all the way around, it should work out in the end. The only other thing to note is in these side sections here, just go along all the way like this. It's absolutely no different to the rest of the build. There we go. Now, this step can be a little bit tedious, but once you sort of get a rhythm going, it can be quite easy to just remember to sort of miss a block all the way around each lamp. Now, all we need to do is go behind the TARDIS and light every single one of them. And once that's done, you should end up with something that looks like this. And now this TARDIS is really starting to come together. Right, so we're now going to move on to the pillars, and these are quite complicated, but I'm going to take you through it as best I can. However, first I need to point out something quite major. So we're going to be texturing these pillars, and they'll be about half made of regular sandstone and half made of smooth sandstone. Now, to make this a little bit easier to follow, I'm just going to build them all out of regular sandstone, and then I'll go back and texture them later, and that's what I'd highly recommend you do so that you don't have to keep switching between blocks and stuff. So I'm just going to get the basic shape down for them, and then I'll texture to them later. So first of all, what we're going to do is start with the slightly easier two, which are the ones that are straight instead of diagonal, as I'm building 6 in this TARDIS. That's another thing to mention, by the way. There are actually 2 versions of this coral interior. The 9th Doctor one, I believe, seems to have 6, and the 10th Doctor one seems to only have 4. It's a little bit of a weird phenomenon, but there you go, and I've chosen to go with 6. So we're going to start by coming to this left-hand side right here, and with our sandstone, we're basically just going to come right to the middle and go all the way up the wall, 1 block in front of all of these blocks of stripped oak wood, literally right the way to the top like that. And then you're just going to grab some slabs and continue this all the way along until you come in contact with this central thing. So you should now have one singular line curving all the way around the TARDIS. Now we're actually going to start creating this pillar. So first of all, what you're going to do is place 3 stairs around the base like this. Then you're going to place slabs every single time it goes out by a further block. So in every single one of these areas here. However, please don't place one in this gap right here. We're going to leave that blank. Next up, what you're going to do is come to this area right here and directly in the middle, punch out this middle block here. And then also the one block towards the console like that. So you should have something that looks like this. We're now going to place 2 stairs in this gap facing in those directions. And then we're going to mirror that on top. So you should do something like this. Next up with your slabs, you're going to go 1, 2 on the back like that. A block next to it like that with a sandstone wall on top and a sandstone slab on top like that. We're then going to go another block right next to this slab and another one next to it like that. We're going to connect this to the main pillar with a slab right there. Then we're going to put another slab on top of this block with another slab sort of diagonally outwards. So it's a little bit fiddly to place, but I'd recommend doing something like that. So you should now have something that looks like this. We're now going to place another block on top of this slab and another slab going diagonally across towards the main pillar like that. And then to wrap this main area up, what we're going to do is turn back to this side, come out by 1 block and place another block on top like that. Place another block on top of that one with a slab to the left of it like that. Another block on top with another slab on top like that. Then a bit of a fiddly stair, so I recommend turning this into a full block, placing the stair and then destroying it. You should have something that looks like this. Another sandstone wall there with a sandstone slab on top. Another block of sandstone right there, so you should now look something like this. I know this is really fiddly, and feel free to slow down the video or pause it to catch up, because I know I'm going quite quickly, but it's just quite a complicated bit, and once it's out the way, you can just replicate it for the rest of the TARDIS. Then, just to finish this off, all we're going to do is place a sandstone wall on top of this block here, with a sandstone slab on top like that, and finally, 1 block of sandstone right there. So there you go, that is your pillar complete. And now comes the fiddly bit. Yeah, we're going to mirror this on the other side as well. Now, it shouldn't be too difficult because you're just going to do the exact same thing again. And if you'd like to, feel free to go back and watch it all over again. So go back to when I started this pillar and just replicate it exactly on the other side like I'm doing right now. So there we go. Once you've done that, you should have something that looks like this. 2 exactly identical pillars facing into the console like this. We're now going to start on the 4 diagonal pillars, and it's the exact same design, however obviously it's a little bit different because it's going to be diagonal. So we're going to start by doing a very similar thing indeed. We're going to go all the way up the wall, filling all these gaps. So you should go up like that, up like this, up here, all the way until you reach the top. Now, the only difference in this entire thing comes to when you get to here. So you should have 4, 3, 2, and 2 like that. What we're now going to do is fill this gap with some stripped oak wood like that, and then place 1, 2 going down like that. Then all you've got to do is place another 2 right next to it there, and then a final 1 to finish it off. So that is your general arc complete. It should go 4, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, and then 1. And yes, now we're going to go with a very similar process. So do exactly the same thing we did on the other one. Place a slab in each of these gaps here, going all the way up to the top apart from that 1 block. Then all the way at the top here, you're going to place another slab coming diagonally out of that one. You're actually going to destroy this white terracotta block and replace it with sandstone. You're going to place another sandstone slab right there, and then another full block of sandstone right there, connecting it up to this central rotor area here. We're then going to come down to the bottom and place 2 stairs facing outwards like that. Then we're going to come to our hexagonal platform here, and you need to make sure that you align yourself with the console instead of trying to align yourself with this, because it's a hexagon, so it can get a little bit confusing. What you need to do is follow this diagonal all the way down, then then punch out these 2 middle blocks. We're then going to place 1 stair facing that way and 1 stair facing the other way. Then we're going to place 1 stair facing that way and another one right here facing the other way, just like we did on the other one. Then finally, you're going to place another stair facing this way and another one facing that way. So you should have something that looks like this. We're going to follow a very similar thing to the other one. So we're going to come out behind like this and place 2 sandstone slabs like that. Then we're going to place a full block behind it with a sandstone wall on top and a sandstone slab right there. We're then going to come out with another full block right behind that with a sandstone slab on top like that, connecting it to this part of the pillar. And just for good measure, we're going to add an extra slab under here to connect that bit as well. Then turn your attention to this slab right here, and what we're going to do is turn it into a full block and place a diagonal slab like that, then destroy it and replace the slab so that you've got one floating right here above the sandstone wall section. Then place another block of sandstone on top with another sandstone slab on top like that. Then you're going to need another full block coming outwards diagonally like that with a sandstone wall on top of it and a sandstone slab right there. And then to finish this all off, we need this section. So what you're going to do is come 1 block diagonally outwards from these stairs with 1 block up like that, another block on top of that one, a slab coming back in towards the pillar like that with another block of sandstone there and a sandstone slab on top once again. Then that kind of awkward to place stair needs to be facing in this direction. So it needs to look like that. That is very important. It needs to be facing this wall. Then place a sandstone wall on top like that, a sandstone slab there, and that is your diagonal pillar complete. Once again, if you manage to follow that in real time, then that is very, very impressive, but please don't feel pressured to. Go back, watch it a few times, put it on slower speed, pause it, etc. And I'll stay here for a second so that you can take some screenshots or whatever. But overall, it's not too complicated, it's just a little bit fiddly to place. And we're now going to replicate these in all 4 corners. So just to check, your pillars should all look like this. That's the easy bit. And then I just thought I'd show you to help a little bit. On this side, the stairs need to be facing like this. So this one needs to be facing that wall, and this one needs to be facing the other pillar. Then on this side, this stair needs to be facing the back wall, and this stair needs to be facing the entrance. Then on this side, this one needs to be facing that wall, and this one needs to be facing over there. So I hope that helps to orientate yourself a little bit, and then yeah, just copy this exact same design on all 3 of the other sides. So there we go. Your TARDIS should now look something like this. I hope that wasn't too confusing. And yeah, as you can see, once you get these pillars in, it really starts to come together. So now we've just got the little job of texturing all of these. So literally just replace as many of these blocks as you want with the smooth variants. So there we go. It doesn't make too much of a difference, but I think it just really helps to soften them out and give the TARDIS a bit of a weathered look. Right, so now that those pillars are done, the next thing we're going to add is just a small platform over here. So first of all, what you're going to do is come to this block right here. So this redstone lamp, and you're going to place a blackstone slab on the top half of it like that. So it should be right next to this part of the pillar, this slab right here. So now you're going to go 1, 2, 3 outwards like that. Then you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Then finally behind it again, 1, 2, 3 like that. So it joins up with the pillar. Do the exact same thing but mirrored on the other side. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 to finish it off like that. Then just fill in all of the space behind with your blackstone slabs on both sides. Then we're going to grab ourselves some dark oak trapdoors, and what you're going to do is come to this block and basically just tower up with them. I find it easier to just do that, and then you can flip them all like that. And then finally, we just need to turn this block into a full block like that so that we can put ladders on this entire surface. So just check that should be 1 block to the right of this row of 3 here. Just place some dark oak trapdoors and then turn that block into a full block. Finally, we need to write the following command: /give @self, and then you need to put item frame. Then you need to put one of these squiggly brackets, EntityTag, written exactly like I'm writing it, invisible like that, with a colon and a squiggly bracket, :1, and then 2 more squiggly brackets at the end. Now, don't worry, I've got that to copy and paste in the description if you'd like it. Then you're going to place 3 of these right here with 3 ochre frog lights like that. Then all you have to do is mirror that on the other side, so just 3 item frames with 3 ochre frog lights in like that. And that is that walkway complete, and we are now getting extremely close to finishing this TARDIS. There's just a few more details we need to add. So the first thing we're going to be building is a little chair, so you need to come behind the console and destroy this central central block right here, the very edge of the circular platform in the middle, and replace it with a spruce slab, put an iron bar on top of it like that, and then a mud brick stair facing into the console. Then place an oak stair either side of it like that, then go to the back and place an item frame, just a regular one, with a block of coal rotated 45 degrees like that. And there you go, that's your very simple little chair complete. Now there's only a few more details we need to add, and these are actually entirely optional. So first of all, what you can do is spam a load of dark oak fences around the top of your TARDIS, just this top section where all the white terracotta is. You can have them droop down a bit if you want to, for example, like this. And basically what this is trying to represent is the wiring. Something a little bit like this, where I've just dotted these all the way around and they sort of droop a bit and they're all connected to the main central bit of the rotor. And then the final thing you can do is something a little bit like this, where you go around the edge, still trying to replicate this wiring, but like a different type. So I think this effect works really, really nicely. All I've done is alternate between loads of different blocks. So I've got a lot of dark oak blocks, like trapdoors and signs and open fence gates and buttons and pressure plates and stuff. And then I've just spanned around a load of this grey carpet, and I've just done this all the way around the edge. Once again, this is entirely optional and it's up to you whether you like it or not. I think it's quite a subjective thing, because I personally really like this effect, but to some people it might just look a little bit cluttered. But yeah, there's a little extra thing for you to do if you'd like to. And we only have one more thing to add before we mark this TARDIS complete, and that is a little hat stand. So come 2 blocks out from your mangrove right here, place 2 blocks of spruce fence, and then go on top like this, and what you need to do is type the following command, /set block, and then just paste 3 of these little squiggly thingies, and then you're going to put dead bush like this. And personally, I think that creates a really nice little hat stand effect. And there we go. This is our TARDIS complete, and I think it looks really, really good. So all there is left to say from me is thank you very, very much for watching, and I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any other questions, there is a link to my Discord server in the description, and you can join it and chat about this TARDIS there, and me and the rest of my community will try and help you as best we can. At some point, there will also be a world download for this TARDIS available in the description. It might not be there if you're seeing this video within like a few weeks of it going live. It might take a while to sort out. And for the first time ever, as well as a Java download, there's actually also a Bedrock edition download there for you. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like or comment. And if you'd like to see more content like this, and you'd like to see the next tutorial I'll be doing, which is the 11th TARDIS, then please subscribe. But I've been DT10, and I will see you in the next video.